Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Tiffany and I upload a new homemaking video every Sunday. So today I am going to be talking to you about a big goal that I accomplished this week, and it might be a goal that you want to accomplish too. So I'm going to share a little bit about my journey and what helped me to reach my goal, and that is becoming consumer debt free. I became consumer debt free this week. I paid off almost $18,000 in consumer debt, including a car loan, a couple of credit cards. I paid off a loan that I had taken out from a family member many years ago, and also some taxes that I owed on from a year or two ago. So it's been quite the adventure. It's been a hard road. It's been a long road, and I made it. And I want to reach back and just let people know what helped me so that when they start their journey, they can use some of these and hopefully make it to the other side as well, because the other side is definitely amazing. So I had a moment about 3 years ago when I just started feeling really overwhelmed with all the payments that I was making, and I got really stressed out. I got so stressed out about all the money that I owed, and I started listening to Dave Ramsey again, and I've always known about him. I always know what to do, but I never do it. And I decided one night that I was just going to write everything down and just get it together and move forward. And I took an honest look at where I was, and when I added it up to almost $18,000, I was mortified. I had no idea the number was that high, and for me, that was really overwhelming. I don't have any student loans, thank God, but I had all the other things I talked about, and a lot of it was me being frivolous. A lot of it was me being impulsive and not making great choices, and it was time to make a change. So I did. And the first thing I did was get honest about where I was. So making that list was my first step. The second thing I did was let the feeling that gave me kind of permeate my body. And that's when I got angry. I got angry about it. I decided how I felt about it. I evaluated my view of debt. I evaluated how I felt about it. And I feel like it robbed me. Having so much debt robbed me of joy and opportunities, and it made me feel stuck, and it made me feel like a prisoner in my own life. It made me feel like I couldn't have the freedom that other people had who weren't in the same kind of pickle, and I don't want to live like that. I don't want that life. I want to be free, and I want to be happy, and I want to have enough money to do the things that are really important to me. And that means I got really mad when I listed everything out, because I felt like I wasn't free, because I wasn't. And that anger led me to the third thing I'm going to tell you was I picked up a side hustle. That was my third action step, and that was my first real step toward getting out of my mess. And I picked up a bartending job. I don't know what skills you all have in your back pocket, but whatever you did when you were 16, whatever job you had, whatever, experience you have doing anything, just pick it back up and do it 2 days a week in addition to whatever you're working now. If you're working, I hope you're working. Oh my God, if you're not working, I'm so sorry. But when you get back to work, definitely do it. Find a way to shovel more money into your bank account every month, and that will definitely help you get out of debt so much faster. It's going to make a big difference. The fourth thing I did was create a budget. I got intentional about how I was spending my money. So first I started making more money, and then I got intentional about what I was doing with it. So I cut out any side spending. I stopped getting my nails done. I stopped getting as many haircuts. I stopped drinking when I went out. I stopped, I started eating at home more. There were a lot of things that I did to sort of rein in my spending in addition to making more money. So I kind of increased the size of the payments I was able to make every month by making a budget. And I estimated my monthly income and then planned on what I was going to be spending based on that. And that was so helpful. The app that I use is called Every Dollar, and I'll put a link to their site in the description box below so that you can check it out as well. It's super easy to use, and it syncs up with the Dave Ramsey plan, which I found inspiring, and that's what I used as my model for getting out of debt. So there are a million budgeting apps, but that's the one that I used, and it's free. So the fifth thing I did was obsess over my new goal. And this was a life goal. This was the thing that I was focusing on for this season. This is my season to get out of debt. And it's going to take as long as it takes. And it took 3 years. I thought it was going to take less, but it ended up taking 3 years. And that's okay. I got there. And that's the important thing. And I'm so happy that I did. I didn't give up. And I didn't get discouraged I did get discouraged when my timeline got messed up, but I kept going anyway. And I didn't say, to hell with it. I'm just going to go spend this money and blah, blah, blah. I didn't do that. I kept my wits about me, and I kept moving forward. And that's what you have to do. You have to obsess over it and keep that as your focus. Being debt-free is your focus. And the last thing I'm going to tell you that I did that's super important. I can't stress how important this is, and I forget to do it even now. I have to make myself remember. And that is celebrate your wins along the way. So every time I would knock out a debt, I would celebrate with something. Whether it's, sometimes I would just get together with a friend and we would have a drink. That's a small celebration. Or I would... when I paid off my car, I went and got a manicure and a pedicure at a salon, and it was so nice, and I treated myself to that. And then the next debt that I paid off, I set some money aside to buy some new clothes, and I just gradually felt the pressure releasing as I moved forward on my journey. So definitely focus on those positive emotions and celebrate your progress, because it'll help you stay motivated to keep going. And this past week, I paid off everything. And so I am all the way done with my consumer debt. The only thing I have left is my mortgage with my husband, and it feels so good. I feel like 100 pounds lighter than I did 3 years ago, and I feel like a grown-up, which is a good feeling. It's definitely a good feeling. I don't know if I've celebrated it really, my last win here, but I made a dress because I was scared to make this video. So maybe I'll have to find a place to wear this dress and go out dancing when things reopen, whenever that is. So hopefully there will be a fun time in store for me for that. But I really hope you found these tips helpful. I'm really happy to be the other side. I want you to know that you can get to the other side no matter how hopeless it seems. I know it was so hard for me. My income is just not what I want it to be, and I had to work with what I had, and the income that I have still, like, I could make it happen. So it's just a numbers game, and it's just bite the bullet and grind and get it done so that you can be free and you can sleep well at night and you fulfilled your promises and you can be someone who saves money instead of someone who owes money. So I really hope, I'm not saying become, like a greedy tyrant, but treat yourself nice and make a life for yourself where you feel like you're not owned by someone else, because that's the worst feeling ever. I know there's a recurring, I'm not like, I don't read the Bible a lot, but there was something that Dave Ramsey says a lot of times, and it's the borrower is slave to the lender. And when he said that, I was like, that's how I feel. I feel like someone owns me. I feel like someone owns all the money that I'm working for. I already owe it to someone else, and that is no way to live. I don't want you to live like that. I don't want you to feel like that. That is not okay. So I really hope these tips help you out. I hope you find something that motivates you to free yourself if you're feeling owned by your debt. And I hope you find a way out of it. Message me if you need a cheerleader or if you need a reference to any of the inspiration that I used. I just, go to Ramsey Solutions on YouTube. You can follow, there are like so many different personalities to follow, but they will totally cheer you on. I liked to follow Rachel Cruze and Christy Wright and Dave Ramsey. But I mean, I also like Ken Coleman and, what's the guy's name with the pretty voice? There's another guy and he's great too. So definitely find somebody to follow who will help you and be supportive, who will guide you. That's what worked for me. But I hope you liked this video. Give it a like if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more of my homemaking videos. But this is a video to kind of deal with the guts of how you run your home. And running a debt-free home is definitely on my list of aspirations. So I hope it's one of yours too. It's a free way to live. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and I'll see you next week. Bye.